Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Wednesday afternoon. Welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I'm Andy Graham alongside Jeremy Jeffcoat. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your calls, taking your phone calls, taking your comments, talking about everything going on in the world of sports, particularly Auburn sports, but we'll bounce around, talk about some national issues as well. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. As always, you can find us on our YouTube page and Facebook page. Go and subscribe to those. That YouTube page especially, the YouTube page, and like that. We would really appreciate it. We're trying to build up that social media part of our content. But as always, we appreciate you joining us each and every day on your Spectrum cable dial, or if you stream it, however you choose to dial us in, we appreciate it. We'll talk about some basketball today. Auburn is going to travel down to Baton Rouge to take on LSU. That's always a fun trip. If anybody's ever wants to make that trip, it's not that bad from here.
Yeah.
And the food is amazing.
The food is worth the trip. In fact, stop at every gas station along the way, because usually you run into a gas station that's got better food than any four-star restaurant you've been to. So
Right.
We were actually headed down that way. Weren't going to Baton Rouge or going to New Orleans, but stopped at a gas station. They had this sandwich shop in there. And we had to try the sandwiches because they were making the bread in-house.
Oh, wow.
So they're making like this thick, crusty French bread, and they got all these great sandwiches. And it was like, I'm talking like gourmet, like Food Network level stuff, right? In this little gas station. And, I mean, it was amazing. So.
Wow. That was in Mississippi, Alabama?
Well, it's actually in Louisiana,
Okay.
just across the Mississippi line.
Okay. There's also a place there in Mississippi called The Shed, I think. Have you ever stopped there?
I've not.
It's like it's like very famous. It's like a barbecue place, but I mean, you going into it, and it's like a junkyard. I mean, it's, and you're almost you're thinking, have I made a mistake? But it's kind of a cool place, basically like a covering. Very, very famous. I think it's called The Shed. It pretty good, actually. But anyway, for all of that, that's free information. You can get that. But we'll talk about that. We'll break down the Auburn LSU game a little bit. Look about what happened last night in the SEC and some other games. Get JJ's thoughts on Alabama and Mississippi State tonight in Starkville. Thought we'd start today kind of lots been made about the college football playoff, about what was good about it, what was not good about it. The ratings are officially out, and ESPN, they feel like it was a success, and by the numbers, I guess you would have to say that it was. The playoff games averaged 15.6 million viewers across the Nielsen ratings, and they got better as the playoff went along. If you break it down, according to ESPN, viewers consumed 36 billion minutes of live coverage, which is a 63% increase over last season's 7-game slate. Now, obviously, there were more games this year, so it's going to be more. But started out first round, 10.6 million. Not very good.
But here's the thing. I think what ESPN is doing here, And no offense to him because, hey, I've worked in advertising now for 31 years. I know how this game is played.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of putting lipstick on a pig, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, when you combine all the games, look at all the people,
Right.
But, the fact is that the national championship game was down 25% from last year. And it's because, in my opinion, it happened on January the 20th?
Yeah.
It's just too late. It's too. People have mentally, you start to move on from college football at that point. Now, not the two fan bases of those teams,
Right.
but everybody else.
Well, you would have thought, I mean, if there was ever going to be, like a national type audience, I mean, Alabama and Georgia, I mean, everybody kind of.
Yeah, you don't get two bigger brands than Ohio State and Notre Dame.
I mean, you would have thought that if you were going to have one, that would be it.
Yeah.
That would really.
I mean, last year was Michigan and Washington, and Michigan, big national fan base. Washington's not.
Yeah.
But it's 25% bigger ratings than this year's championship.
So that's.
I think it's instructive for the committee and the conferences and ESPN to kind of look at that. I don't think they're going to make any real changes this year, but it was only a 2-year deal on this thing.
Right.
And I think they've got to look at structuring the calendar. I never minded when we got the 14 playoff and it went to like January 8th, January 9th, January 10th. That never bothered me because I got those great semifinal games on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
But it bothers me when I'm like, okay, it's January 13th, and I'm watching the semifinals, and it's like the 20th, and in my mind, I'm already trying to figure out who I think's going to the Super Bowl at that point. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're going to have to rethink the calendar to some degree.
It started out 10.6. Quarterfinals were 16.9 million. The semifinals 19.2 million, and then, like you said, the Ohio State Notre Dame game. 22.1 million viewers for that one. So again, I mean, it did get better. That's what you want. You want to keep getting eyes and adding eyes to it. But oddly enough, the most watched one was the Ohio State and Oregon national. I mean, and again, so. You're telling me that there's more eyes on Ohio State, Oregon than Ohio State?
Well, why is that?
Again, so why is that?
Why is that? Because I think most people looked at that game and said, this is probably for the national championship. I mean, that's what I was thinking.
Well, I'm talking about this one. I'm talking about like in 2014.
Oh, yeah.
Was supposed to be like the most watched.
Yeah.
Was the most watched national championship game. And but maybe why when it was played, maybe that's maybe the biggest factor.
It's a huge factor, and like I said, you can work with the NFL on the calendar.
Yeah,
the NFL's not going to stop doing their Saturday wild card games. They're just not.
No.
But you can work with them on some stuff. But the more you bleed into their time, which is what college football's kind of done over the last few years, the less the NFL is going to want to work with you on that.
Well, how do you continue to incorporate, New Year's Day? That's really, that was always college football's day.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Yep.
Could you, I mean, you're not going to play the national championship game, obviously, because.
No. But if you played the calendar right, you could go back to what we did in the 14 playoff. You play your semifinals that day.
Yeah.
And then you play the finals, a week to 10 days later.
Is there going to be I keep saying there's got to be some kind of sacrifice, either of going back to an 11-game schedule or doing away with the conference championship games.
I don't see that happening.
But doesn't common sense at some point have to prevail and say, yes, we're going to lose some money, but these conference championship games just don't mean anything. Yes, they're entertaining, but
I think they're going to find a way to make them matter. I think one of the things they did, one of the things is go drop in divisions and go into the way we're doing it now. And I think that was one way they tried to do that, maybe. And maybe we'll get a true champion out of the thing, and increase interest, but. And I don't know if that's the right way. What happens when the Big Ten and the SEC get up to 20 teams, right? I mean, at some point you've got to go to divisions, right? I mean, you've got to go to 4 divisions instead of 2, and then you have a 2-round playoff. Now, for that, you might drop a regular season game with, Samford or something, but.
The first title game, 2015, Ohio State beat Oregon 42-20. The most watched college football game by viewers in the college football playoff era, 33.9 million. 33.9 million.
Was that Marcus Mariota's team?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay, so you had the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
Facing Cardell Jones, who had blown up and become a superstar at Ohio State as the 3rd-string quarterback that year.
That was the 3rd string, yeah.
And you had big names, not only Cardell Jones, but you had Zeke Elliott. Urban Meyer and Chip Kelly, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but that much more that surprises me, to be perfectly honest. That many more people watched it than Ohio State and Notre Dame. And I need how do you? They're got this down. They know when people tune out too. What are they?
Well, there are a select group of people that are randomly selected. Well, they're not random. They're selected for their zip codes and their demography and all that. And they're sent boxes by Nielsen that they attach to their television.
I see.
And they use that and then extrapolate information out of it.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I'm always surprised that the NFL does so much better than college. That there's so many more NFL fans than there are college football fans.
Yeah,
but I guess it's a product of living in the South, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
All right, don't go anywhere. We're just getting started. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes. They're installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
Discover great deals on Kawasaki motorcycles, watercraft, side-by-sides, and more. Save big on championship-proving KX motorcycles. Get a great deal on iconic Kawasaki jet ski personal watercraft, or take advantage of big adventure for less with savings on our rugged Terex side-by-sides. There's no better time to save on our exciting lineup of Kawasaki vehicles. Visit Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard today, or see all the Kawasaki products at adamsmotorsports.com, where your pleasure is our business.
In 2025, we're hammering down high prices at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. New Chevy Silverado 4x4 crew cabs, discounted up to $12,000 off. Brand new 2025 Chevy Equinox, the compact SUV with high-tech features, discounted up to $5,000 off. Enjoy the new year with no payments for 120 days. Choose from over 500 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way. GlennSmith.com. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. We are brought to you each and every day by Sensagreen Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. For air that's fresh and clean, call Sensagreen, 334-487-3555. Russell Do-It Center. They got 9 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supply, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out Russell Do-It Center today. They could beat the big box store. You'll be glad that you did. Also, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. No jobs too big, no jobs too small, commercial or residential. Give them a call today for all your needs, 334-531-0199. Bubba says, do you think the inauguration day hurt the ratings? There was a lot going on January 20th.
There was.
For sure.
There was a lot going on. That's another, poorly thought out plan. There's.
That's only going to happen once every 4 years.
But. The seeding thing, and I hate to keep coming back to this, but the seeding thing is part of it too, because Penn State played SMU and,
Do you think if you would have had great games to begin with, it would even been better?
Well, I think the key is those first round matchups, right?
Yeah.
Those don't have to be barn burner type matchups. You'd love to have a couple of good ones in there.
Yeah.
But they don't have to be. Put your higher seeds up, put your better teams up as the higher seeds, so that when you get to the semifinals, right? I'm not looking at somebody who snuck in there with an easy path. I'm looking at 4 teams that are, the best in the game.
Ideally, you don't want anybody to have an easy path, but
yeah,
it works out that way sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, let's face it, Penn State.
They did.
They had an easy path to the semifinals.
Easier
than anybody else.
Yeah.
Whereas if you seeded that thing properly, nobody has an easy path. And I'm not saying Penn State wouldn't have still made the semifinals. May have. But I think you've got to – if you get the seeding right, then each round should bring you more compelling matchups. each round. First round, okay, you're going to get a couple of blowouts. It's all right.
Yeah.
Second round, ooh, there's some good ones in there, and on and on. So that's really what you're looking for.
Nobody certainly was expecting to see Ohio State up 30 points on Oregon in a second-round matchup. But that's the way it worked out. Steve says, do you know don't know if you've spoken to this about the status of Ja'Kai Howard, what happened to him leaving at halftime Tennessee game, and will he play tonight? Well, Bubba answers that. He said Ja'Kai boarded the plane to go to Baton Rouge, tune in tonight for playing time. Yeah, he's a guy. Ja'Kai Howard is. We've talked about this a lot. He is very, very talented. He's got, he's super athletic. As far as he's got the spectacular dunks and all that. But he's just, he's one of these guys who's got attitude issues, and it's going to be a problem if he doesn't get a handle on it. Apparently, he had a disagreement. He's not playing. He's used to being a star player on an AAU team, and he's coming into Auburn. He's playing behind seniors right now, and he's not getting the playing time that he was like. Didn't appreciate, I guess, one of the playing rotations or whatever, and had a disagreement about it. Went to the locker room. I think he did come back in that game this Saturday against Tennessee, but did not play anymore. Bruce Pearl said he had a conversation with him, talked to him after the game. He said he's going to be fine. Jim was talking about it yesterday. I think Stephen Pearl said they had a players-only meeting, and they were talking about some things, what everybody could improve. And
the dreaded players-only meeting.
Yeah, really. But apparently Stephen Pearl was in on it, so he knows what went on in it. But said that he announced to the team that he knew that he had he needed to change his attitude and get better about that, and he was going to work on it. So we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, what I heard after the game was that they had a conversation and they're fine.
Yeah,
they're moving forward.
We'll see.
So
I don't think it's a big deal, but you don't want a distraction when you're on the pace that Auburn's on right now. But we'll see what happens with him. If he doesn't play, it's not like it's he's playing 5 to 7 minutes a game, so it's not that big a deal right now. But you just don't want any kind of negative issue like that being a lingering thing when you're trying to win a national championship. Okay, Auburn and LSU tonight.
Yeah,
LSU has not been great, but they have been a good team.
They have competed hard.
They've competed.
Yeah. Auburn should win this game fairly handily.
You would think.
But it is a road game in Baton Rouge, and so you always mark that up.
If LSU can play Alabama to a 7-point game,
boy, that was an unusual game, though.
It was.
Did you watch any of that?
It was not. Mark Sears sitting out of the half is not usual for Alabama, for sure.
And keep in mind that Clifford Amore sat out, 10, 12 minutes of the second half himself. So there was a lot going on in that game that allowed them to stay within 7.
They are 12-7, 1-5. Yet they're one of the at the bottom of the SEC. Yet it's still a quad 1 win. That'll tell you all you need to know about the SEC this year. We'll go into some of the numbers a little bit in the next segment. Don't go anywhere. More to come on this edition of the Auburn Blitz.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, we care about the air you breathe. Call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carry or cool cash rebates. Visit Sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe. Call Sensagreen.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
The results are in, and Game Day Men's Health in Auburn has delivered. The certified medical team at Game Day Men's Health wants to help you feel better. Text 334-209-3706 to set up your free testosterone check and consult. Results back in as little as 15 minutes. Tired of feeling tired? Text 334-209-3706 to Game Day Men's Health in Auburn. They make you feel better.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Just a few more segments left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. I always like to remind you about Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines. Great place to get some tremendous food in Montgomery and in the Auburn area. Got 2 locations, of course. Daily lunch specials. Here we go. On Wednesday, grilled or blackened salmon, or beef tips, and you get 2 sides with that.
Yeah, give me the salmon all day.
Give you the salmon all day. You can get those in both locations. In the Montgomery one, you actually could get wild rice, steamed broccoli, and a garden salad.
Oh, it sounds delicious, yeah.
There's also in the month of January, just for the month of January, grilling box for $85. You get 4 prime pork chops, 4 Conecuh burger patties, 4 ground steak patties, 1 pack of the Conecuh sausage. This is available Thursday through Saturday all month, but you must call to place an order. So look, for $85, I mean, like
that's almost enough to like feed my, because we do family dinner on Sunday night, and the kids come to the house and stuff. So it's a big crew. That's pretty much enough to feed that whole crew.
I imagine it would be. Like Brett said, I mean, have you priced Conecuh sausage lately? I mean, that's almost worth it just to get that.
Eggs now up to $7 a dozen.
So I mean, let's see if that's an outstanding value, and I guarantee you they got wide variety of steaks, ribs, all kind of things there in-house. Go and check them out. The food is absolutely tremendous. You'll be glad that you did. Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. We're talking about Auburn and LSU tonight. Again, LSU has struggled in conference, but they've been close in a lot of these games. And I expect to see anytime you got a 1 next to your name, which Auburn, I don't know if you realize, I don't know if you've heard, but Auburn is the #1 team in the country. They're going to get their best effort, and I expect LSU to give Auburn all they got. Now, how will Junai Broom's ankle respond? He played a valiant game against Tennessee. Will it respond well to that?
I think it'll get a little better every game.
I would hope so. Certainly he's the big a huge factor there. If he had not played in that game, I don't think Auburn's beaten Tennessee. He had 16 and 14 in that game against Tennessee, which was a monumental effort on a bum ankle. So hopefully that will continue tonight. One of the other thing that continues to concern me is Auburn's ability to get to the free throw line. Our opponents always are going to the free throw line more than Auburn. That can be a big issue when you get into tournament time. Being able to get to the hole.
Yeah, you want to be able to draw fouls. 1, because you want to put pressure on the other team by getting them in foul trouble.
Absolutely.
2, because it should be easy points for you, right?
Auburn's got some really good free throw shooters.
Yeah, so, and sometimes, sometimes that's a matter of just going to the hole. Just going straight to the hole with it. And, guard play a lot of times is going to dictate that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you get the ball down low to Broom, and he kicks it out to a 3-point shooter. Well, you're not going to drive that. Take the shot,
As long as you're making them.
Yeah, as long as you're making, 34, 35%.
You don't want to be like 4 of 22 like you were against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Games like that's the kind of games.
That's the kind of game where you would tell that guard, okay, to the bucket with that one.
We'll see what the strategy is, but Auburn was able to out-rebound Tennessee as well. that was another huge factor in that game. So that's definitely something. Last night, Kentucky took down Tennessee in Knoxville. Are you surprised at that outcome?
No. And I'm not, because I think Tennessee is vulnerable to any of the upper echelon teams in the SEC. I mean, Auburn, Alabama, Florida, Kentucky, maybe even Ole Miss. You know, I think they're vulnerable because, and it's been this way with Rick Barnes for 30 years, unless he has a transcendent scorer, right, like Dalton Knecht or KD back in the day, his offense struggles. And when your offense, I mean, basketball is a game that's won by scoring a lot of points, right? So if you struggle to score a lot of points, you know, you leave yourself vulnerable, as good as their defense is.
They really get after you. But if they get a referee crew, too, that actually calls fouls, they're in trouble.
Yeah. Well, and that hurts not just Tennessee. A lot, you know, the SEC refs will let you play. They allow a very physical style of play. NCAA tournament refs tend not to. And that hurts some SEC teams when you get into tournament play, because suddenly those hand checks get called, right? Those body checks get called, and you wind up in foul trouble.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere. More to come on this edition of the Auburn Blitz.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone, 256-750-0381, or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com, and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Are you ready to showcase your skills and compete with the best in Alabama? The 42nd Alabama State Games are coming to Birmingham and Jefferson County from June 13th through the 15th, and it's your chance to be part of something incredible. Athletes from across the state will compete in sports ranging from archery to wrestling. Those participating in the opening ceremony are eligible for academic scholarships ranging from $500 to $5,000. Mark your calendar. Registration opens March 1st. Visit allagames.com.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Just a couple more segments left in today's show. Talking about some SEC basketball. Again, Auburn and LSU tonight, 6 o'clock on the SEC network. Again, Auburn 18-1, 6-0. LSU 12-7, 1-5. On paper, it looks like Auburn could win comfortably here, but you never know going on the road in the SEC. You were supposed to win comfortably on the road at South Carolina, and that was, a nail-biter as well. Auburn has had some really close calls here, kind of living on the edge. 2-point game, 3-point game against South Carolina, a 2-point game against Georgia, a 2-point game against Tennessee. So we'll see what happens tonight. Kentucky goes into Knoxville and wins last night. Texas A&M taking care of business against Oklahoma, and Georgia. South Carolina just can't seem to.
You can't catch a break, but man, they play hard.
They do.
I've got a good friend who's from South Carolina, big Gamecock fan. And he and I were talking about it. He's like, he actually likes what he's seeing out of the coaches and the team. He's like, he goes, we're not ready to win games yet, but we're playing hard and not playing terrible basketball. They're just not quite there.
Yeah. Well, their roster, I don't think, is quite as, that's one of the biggest reasons.
Yeah.
They're struggling.
And Georgia's a little better team than we give them credit for, probably.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think Georgia's a bad team at all.
Yeah.
And again, any home court is going. I'm telling you, I've been to a Georgia game over there in Athens. They can get rowdy.
Yeah.
That place can get loud. So when they're right, they're good. Alabama at Mississippi State tonight.
This is an interesting one because this is one of the games when I kind of looked at the schedule beginning of the season, sort of circled that one as, maybe you pencil an alien in there. That's one of those games. Like, you're going to lose some games in conference.
Yeah.
And that's one of those I kind of circled.
Mississippi State, a good team.
And I think it changes a little bit after the controversy from the weekend with Mark Sears and Clifford Amore. Because now I think Alabama needs to show, okay, we've got our act together. We're not a dysfunctional thing, and this would, a win at Mississippi State would be a great way to show that.
It would be. This would, if you're going to see Mark Sears come out, and he probably would be determined. I could see him going off in a game like that.
Yeah, it's one of those games where he scores 23 or 24 points, has 9 assists, and 6 rebounds, and whatever.
Now, Mississippi State, again, another physical team, and going over, in the hump.
Tough place.
It's a tough place to play. They are playing pretty well this year. They are number 14 in the country, so that one at 8 o'clock on the SEC Network. And then you got Texas going to Ole Miss at 8 o'clock on ESPN2.
Watch out for Texas in this game.
Yeah. Well, Ole Miss beats Alabama, and I don't think they've won a game since.
Yeah. And Texas going on the road against a ranked opponent, they're going to be an underdog, but, I just kind of feel like Texas may win this thing.
We're what, 8? Well, Auburn took a week off. They had their bye, so most everybody 7 games into the SEC season is going to going about the way you thought it would.
Not going too terribly different than I thought it would. I think there are a couple of surprises. I did not think Arkansas would be this bad.
Yeah.
And frankly, I didn't think Florida would be as good as they are.
There again, that whole we were talking about. I think you and I had a conversation that's weeks and weeks ago when Todd Golden, all this stuff came out.
Yeah.
About stalking and this and that. And you said, well, I said, man, he's in trouble. Florida's, and then I didn't hear a word about it. They were doing an investigation the other day. They just come out and say, oh, yeah, by the way, we're just, nothing's come of that.
By the way, our conference records, what now?
Yeah. Now, I mean, these Title IX investigations are usually very stringent. So apparently they did their due diligence, and there was no – they're not saying that there was no poor decision-making, but there's nothing that rose to the level of, I guess, stalking or I don't know. So all that's just kind of gone away.
Yeah.
And Florida may be the best team in the SEC. I don't know. They're really, really good.
Yeah. No, they're excellent. I think Kentucky is also, and obviously our 2 in-state schools, and so. But yeah, I did not expect Florida to be so. Other than a couple of surprises, it hadn't gone much different than I thought it would.
Yeah, I think everybody's a little bit surprised with how bad. Well, I don't know if Arkansas is bad. It's just that they're just not good.
I think I expected Arkansas at the very least to be a slightly below 500 team in the conference and a bubble NCAA team.
How many teams do you think the SEC gets into the tournament?
I think all this talk about 13 is ridiculous. That's not happening. But it wouldn't surprise me to see like 9 or 10. I think the record is 11.
Yeah.
And that was ACC one
year,
I think.
Yeah.
So the record's 11. Now, conferences are a little bigger than they used to be, but 11 would be cool,
That would be interesting for sure.
Which is more opportunities for losses, which means that we have to hear everybody else go, see, they were overrated.
Well, they're probably playing each other, too, in some of those matches. Yeah. We got to take our final break, but we'll be back with the final segment of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sense Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carry or cool cash rebates. Visit Sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe. Call Sensagreen.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Are you ready to showcase your skills and compete with the best in Alabama? The 42nd Alabama State Games are coming to Birmingham and Jefferson County from June 13th through the 15th, and it's your chance to be part of something incredible. Athletes from across the state will compete in sports ranging from archery to wrestling. Those participating in the opening ceremony are eligible for academic scholarships ranging from $500 to $5,000. Mark your calendar. Registration opens March 1st. Visit allagames.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Final segment on this Wednesday afternoon. Auburn and LSU tonight, 6 o'clock on the SEC Network. Got the Senior Bowl this weekend. Going to be quite a few Auburn players playing in that, trying to improve that draft stock a little bit. I think.
So, interesting note on the Senior Bowl there. Everybody's trying to figure out who the number 3 quarterback on the draft board is. And most people think it's going to come down to either Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe.
Right.
And so the scouts, the NFL guys who divvy up the teams for the Senior Bowl, put them on the same team this week. So they could see them working with the same offensive line, same receivers, same coaches, all of that. You know, so it's kind of an even, the scouts wanted to see it that way. So that'll be an interesting thing to watch. You know, not just Saturday, obviously, you know, we get to see the game on TV, but how the scouts view it watching practice. Yesterday was practice number 1, and apparently both of them had a tough day, especially taking snaps from under center, because neither one of them have done that very often. So they were fumbling snaps under center and stuff.
Really?
So, Yeah, they'll get better by day, I'm sure. But
I'm sure, yeah. All right, it is January the 29th. On this day, the first Hall of Fame Major League Baseball Hall of Fame class was inducted 1936. Now, the first one may have been the best one of all time.
Well, it's a pretty hard one to beat.
Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Christy Mathewson, and Walter Johnson. I mean, that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it was probably you're gathering from a little larger pool here, because I guess from here on out it was like, every year. But I mean, you're only going. You got to be retired for how long?
Got to be retired 5 years.
5 years. So I mean, you're taking from a 5-year pool, going back a little ways. But my goodness, that was.
I would like to see the people who did not make it on that class. There are probably some surefire guys who made it later who didn't make it in that class.
I would imagine so. When that's your competition, that's tough to get in. 1995.
I just know they're going to give it to Ruth again.
Yeah. And none of those guys unanimous, by the way.
Right.
1995, Super Bowl 29.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl 29. The 49ers defeat the Chargers 49-26. Steve Young had taken over for Joe Montana, or forced him out, however you want to look at it.
Well, Steve Young didn't force him out.
No, he didn't. But he was the recipient of that. But and was, kind of got that monkey off his back.
He even had the famous scene where he turns to one of his teammates and says, "Go ahead and pull the monkey off my back."
Yep. But that was all those 49ers teams in the 90s were great.
Oh, yeah.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Well, I mean, you could start really 83, 82. 82, 83 when they really kind of started. Then they won it in 84, and then won again in 87, and won in 89, and won in 95.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the Bobby Ross Chargers, by the way.
Yes, it was.
Bobby
Georgia Ross, Tech. Another one of those
Hall of Fame coach.
Probably a very underrated.
Yeah, nobody ever mentions him, but it's the guy that won a national championship at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Took the Chargers to the Super Bowl. I mean,
he did. He went to Army later in his career and actually had some good years. So, yeah, Bobby Ross, very, very good coach. Happy birthday today, W.C. Fields.
He was the guy that did this thing, right?
That was him.
Yeah.
Funny guy, comedian.
Yeah.
Born on this day, 1880. Good grief. John Forsythe. Charlie of Charlie's Angels.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
He was also in, I think, Dynasty.
Okay, yes.
Tom Selleck.
Former UCLA volleyball player.
Is that right?
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Tom Selleck was a UCLA volleyball player, and apparently a very good one.
The mustache. Tom Selleck. Magnum P.I. is 80 years old.
He had just signed his contract to do Magnum P.I., the new show.
I know where you're going.
When he was offered the role of Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
And he turned it down because, I just, got this new show. And
I don't think they'd let him.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd let him out of his contract.
So Harrison Ford winds up as Indiana Jones.
What might have been.
Wow. We might know Indiana Jones less for the hat, more for the mustache.
Mark Singer. Do you know Mark Singer? The Beastmaster.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
Or
show,
V. If you prefer.
Yeah.
Born on this day, 1948. Tommy Ramone.
Of the Ramones?
Of the Ramones, the drummer. Born on this day, 1949. Oprah Winfrey.
Owner of almost everything?
I think billionaire.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey, born on this day, 1954. Greg Louganis, gold medal.
Swimmer?
Gold medal diver.
Yeah, diver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, done. Steve Sachs. You remember Sachs from those Dodgers teams in the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
Second baseman?
Yeah.
Rookie of the year, 1982.
Yep.
Was on both of those 81 and 88 World Series teams. Andre Reed.
Very fast Buffalo Bills receiver.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Was on those 4 Super Bowl losing
The K-Gun.
Yeah, there you go. Dominic Hasek.
I remember the name. But
Dominator, Hall of Fame goalie.
Gotcha.
For the Sabres.
Yeah.
Ed Burns, filmmaker.
Okay.
Aeneas Williams, another Hall of Fame cornerback. Heather Graham.
Lovely.
No relation, but
yes,
lovely. Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Come on. Rob Baronis, kicker for the Auburn Tigers,
That's
and
right.
went on to be a really good kicker for the Tennessee Titans, but very troubled guy.
Yeah.
Didn't end well.
Didn't end
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. He's JJ, I'm Andy. So on for now. We'll talk again soon.